So, Rebecca, we just finished playing the banana measurement game and wanted to hear from you and some of your experience around what are some of the key learnings that you've seen teams come away with from after playing this game?
Sure. So in my experience, there are sort of 2 points at which the teams learn, right? So they learn a lot when they're actually trying to write the operational definition the first time. And then they learn again when they get the other team's operational definition and they compare it to theirs. So when they're writing their definition, they learn all kinds of things about the different perspectives in their team that they and when they think about the banana, which at first glance seems like a simple thing to measure, and they realize how many options they have, right? That's eye-opening for them. And they also learn about the sort of difficulty of actually writing down in words what seems obvious when you do it. Then they get the other team's operational definition, and they realize all the problems with theirs, right? So they want to run over and correct theirs, which you don't let them do. But they see things like, I left out the unit of measurement. I forgot to say measure in inches, or I forgot to say which part of the banana I was measuring. Some teams can get very, very precise in their measurement. I've had teams, with 7 different measures of the of the banana, and other teams will come up with 1 or maybe 2. So that comparison is really helpful for helping people learn. And then when they talk about the experience afterwards, and they compare why they made their decisions, and they really start to understand the importance of understanding the purpose of the measure and making the decisions. They compare, for example, why would you have 7 measures for the banana versus 1? Sometimes the team that had 7 thinks, why wouldn't you have 7 measures? Because it's precise. And when they start to understand, do you need them all? Is the investment of time and resources in collecting the 7 dimensions of the banana worth the effort? And those are interesting conversations to folks. So Lauren, how do you see the lessons of the banana measuring game translated into the real world?
Recently, I had a phone call with a team that I support where there's people from different countries all trying to measure the same thing around mental health. And one of the indicators is around patients dropping out of care. And trying to figure out what that meant to everyone on the call was really interesting, because to some people it was that they hadn't seen a patient for 3 months. And then to other patients, or to other providers on the call, it was that they hadn't come for 1 week, or they had missed their referral. So talking through those points was really enlightening to the rest of the group. And we were able to arrive at a decision together around what that dropout qualification would be. And I think that was really important for us as a team to go through that process. And after having collected the data for a couple of months, thinking that through a bit more, we were testing out basically the measurement and seeing how it fit in these different settings. Another example has been around really defining the start and end of a measure. So thinking that through, if you're collecting something weekly, are we talking about the work week? Are we including the weekend? Is it a Sunday to Saturday, or is it just clinic days if you run that on Tuesday and Thursday, just collecting those? Really spelling all of that out has been really important to get consistency in your measurement so that anyone who is collecting the measure will collect the same thing that the last person did. So making sure that you define the data source, making sure that you define the start and end of the banana, or whatever it is, the time period that you're measuring, and laying that out very clearly in the real world, I think is really important.